In response to viewer requests, we've put together a basic tutorial on how to light a green screen and some tips for working with one. Let's get started. Hi, I'm Mia. Let's go over some green screen basics. I'm going to use two setups to cover those of you looking for an affordable way to get started shooting on a green screen, and a green cyc wall for those of you hoping to create a more professional video environment. First off, why do we use green as the color to key out for the background? Technically, we could use red or blue. Green and blue are considered furthest from human skin tone and the easiest to pull a clean key from. But blue tends to be a very common clothing color, so green is just a little easier to work with. Just to make sure none of your talent is actually wearing green. So if you're new to green screen work and you're looking for an affordable setup for something like a home studio, try an all-inclusive kit. Westcott offers one called the Illusions You Light Green Screen Video Lighting Kit that I'm using to demonstrate with. It has a green 9 by 10 foot cloth background that you can hang pretty much on any flat wall. It's wrinkle-resistant green screen cloth, which is important because you want to make sure that the background is completely flat with no variations in the fabric. Inside the kit, you'll find two 500-watt photo flood light bulbs with stands and collapsible soft boxes to light the background. And it also comes with some software, backgrounds, and graphics that you can use in post-production if you want. So once you hang the fabric background, you'll want to set up your 500-watt floods and attach the soft boxes. The light stands that come with this kit are very lightweight, and they can feel a little top-heavy, especially if you raise them all the way up. I just throw a sandbag or two over the base to make sure that they're secure. The reason for including the soft boxes is to diffuse the light. Our goal is to create nice, even light across the background. Ideally, the fabric should be lit edge to edge. And one way to check that is to use the zebra feature on your camera. Zebra helps show you where areas of your image are brighter or overexposed. When you increase your iris, if you notice the zebra stripes pop up in one area of the screen first, then you know that the lights are too bright there and you can adjust them. What you're looking for is the zebra to pop up evenly across the entire screen. Now, of course, you don't want to record your video this way or everything will be overexposed. It's just one way to check for even lighting. You might feel more comfortable with a light meter, waveform, or histogram, which will work similarly if your camera has one of those. That's the key point. The more even and uniform everything is lit, the more realistic it'll look to the viewer. Now, once you have the background lit evenly, you'll need to light your subject. Pull your subject or stand-in far enough away from the background to get them out of its lighting. You don't want to cast any shadows on the green background, and sometimes that background can cast a green glow on your talent, called spill. Pulling the subject away from the background will reduce that. The two important lights you'll need for your subject are a key and a hair or backlight. That backlight is essential to create some separation between your subject and the background. The key should be angled off, somewhere between 20 and 40 degrees from your camera. Then you can add in a fill light to brighten the shadows on the other side to create a true three-point lighting setup, or you can just as easily use a reflector to bounce the light back on the opposite side of your subject's face. We have a full tutorial on three-point lighting already up on the website. Now, this is a nice setup if you're shooting from the waist or knees up, but if you want to capture an entire subject from head to foot, or if you're planning to film some action sequences with a lot of movement, then you'll need something a little bigger that extends out to the floor. This is a green cyc wall here at our Kelby Training Studio. You'll notice that there are no corners, so you have a nice smooth surface to light. This is the perfect spot to shoot action, or a scene where you need to see the subject's entire body. See how the green floor extends beneath my feet? So let's say you wanted to have a couple dancing on a street in Paris without sending a crew to Paris. Well, you need a wall like this to do it. To light this wall, we're going to use the more powerful Westcott Spiderlight TD6. This is a high output light capable of producing 1200 watts of continuous daylight or tungsten light using compact fluorescent lamps or CFLs. Think about the lighting in the background that you'll be keying in behind your subject. Then decide on color temperature bulbs to match. If you're keying in videos shot someplace like outside on a street in Paris, then daylight bulbs will be your best choice. One really nice feature about these lights is that you can adjust your light output without changing the color temperature, which means you only have to set your white balance once. Each switch on the back controls 2 lights, so if you're working in a confined space and you need a little less output, these lights can easily accommodate you. But you'll definitely want to add soft boxes to get that nice, diffused, even light. A side note here, the light head can be rotated 180 degrees, which can be helpful depending on the size and shape of the green screen that you're working with and the softbox that you're using. A wall like this requires a more extensive lighting setup. Even if you're only shooting a standing subject that's not really moving, you'll need at least 2 lights on either side and at least 2 lights angled down to illuminate the area near your subject's feet. Again, you're looking to create even lighting across the entire frame that you're shooting in. If you plan to use the entire cyc wall area, then that requires a more professional setup like you see here. Now, CFLs are not the only lights that will work. Fluorescent tubes or LEDs are also good choices to light a green screen. Again, here, pull your talent out away from the wall to get rid of any green spill created by it. Besides lighting, another key component to recording on a green screen is the color sampling capabilities of your camera. 4:2:2 color sampling is what you're aiming to capture when you plan to key out green screen backgrounds in post. Without getting into the boring explanation of how chroma subsampling works, just know that if you're working on a green screen, you want the least amount of compression for the clearest picture. You want edges of your subject to look sharp, and you'll need 4:2:2 luminance to color ratio to achieve that. If you're working with a DSLR or a semi-pro camcorder, which typically records at 4:20, or a mini DV camera, which records at 4:11, then I suggest you look into getting an external recording device that records at 4:22. We used the Blackmagic Design HyperDeck Shuttle 2 SSD video recorder. You will notice a difference in quality. Strands of hair will stand out. Details will be clearer. And of course, you'll need software that allows you to key in backgrounds. The Westcott kit that I mentioned earlier comes with its own. Here at Kelby Training, we use Adobe Premiere Pro for our chroma key work. Now at least you have a basic foundation of how to get started with a green screen. Like anything else, the more you work with it, the more comfortable you'll become. I hope you had fun. Thanks for watching.
Whether you're a hobbyist or a professional, B&H has the answers to your questions. Experience a world of technology at our New York City Superstore. Connect with us online or give us a call. Our staff of experts is happy to help.
Scott Kelby here, and welcome to this quick tour of our online training. We have hundreds of online classes for you, covering everything from lighting to landscape photography. From portrait photography to sports, we have classes on wedding, automotive photography, shooting, food, fashion, travel, you name it. The most incredible part of this is the price. You get all of this for just $199 a year, or you can pay monthly for just $24.95. 24-hour a day, 7-day a week access from anywhere in the world. I invite you to join with us today and start learning right now.